every day completely open for sure.
Oh yeah,
Um,
long summer.
yeah. What was it like when you were actually piecing together, like especially book one? Just there's so much depth. Like where did, like you said that you already kind of previously had a bunch of this stuff kind of like notated and presented for your students. So like what was the process like when you were putting it all together and compiling it into a book? Did it drive you
Yeah.
crazy? Just like how much you had to, like just the organization.
The organization was relatively easy. That was an easy part because the order that you see things in, that you see the chapters in, that's essentially the order I practice in. So starting with
Okay.
long tones and working right through to the end of chromatic technique, and then a cool down. In terms of getting all the exercises there, it involved essentially that I would start my day by doing my full practice session. So I'd get here in the office, early in the morning. I would go through my routine, but with the idea of, what are my exercises that out of the past 15 years of really going deep on this, ever since I was a decent undergrad. I've been thinking about a lot of this stuff. And, that's what my practice was. Okay, this week I'm going to focus on what did I really like about that flute method, and what did I really
Yeah.
like about that clarinet method? And then what did I come up with as I was adapting this that I think I thought of myself? It's possible to know,
Yeah.
what came from, Tim or Don or this clarinet flute, whatever.
Yeah. 100%.
So the each daily routine would be it would be a warm up, but it would also be really thinking about exercises, about what would what hasn't been put on paper yet. And so I would do that, take a little break, go for a walk, get out of the office, and then come back and then just sit here for 4 hours on Sibelius and plug away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that became the routine, and I leave that, go about my business, for the afternoon, early evening, and then I just have a quick look at what I wrote that day at night, just to get fresh eyes on it. Just like, oh, that's crap, or
Yeah.
switch that, this needs to be first, and expand that. That'll be great. And then the next day's practice would be practicing those edits and then adding.
Okay.
So it was this. It really gave me a good daily routine because I was getting lots of good practice in, but I was also with my horn really revising what my exercises.
Yeah, you're really
Um,
synthesizing it. Yeah.
yeah, because like I said, it may not be good to admit what you see in there is all of those are developed because I thought those were weaknesses of mine, in my own playing. So, super soft dynamic control, really extended range, and multiple tonguing in the altissimo, and all this sort of stuff. So those are all born of necessity. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
as I
Yeah.
was learning to do them, I, remembered the concept, even if I didn't write them down. And then that's precisely what, I would say, at least for that summer, it was a good daily, several hours on Sibelius, and plunking this in, and then practicing from it the next morning, and then adding to it. And so that routine really kept a lot of the juices flowing up here about, okay, that's, yeah, we need that, or nope, that's already been done, that's already been talked about, you don't need that. And because it was already getting really freaking long. And
Yeah. It's only
I,
what, 2 inches? I mean,
I,
what
yeah,
is the...
I apologize for the shipping costs because this is book's 3 pounds. But and then it was also, the thing is that I came up with several books at once, and I thought, because the thought was at the start of this, what do I think is missing from our pedagogy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because fundamentally, as you say, the organization of it, that both books are suitable kind of for an advanced high school level. If you have several hours to practice, and that's what you want to do, you want to be a music major of any sort, jazz or classical, performance, education, you need that time to have a full robust routine. If
Yeah.
you're only having 30 minutes to practice, a huge book like that would last you 70 years. So it was, I thought, we've got the stuff that'll get you to the advanced high school level, and we've got specific things for extended techniques, and then for voicing and overtones, top tones, all that stuff. But what we don't have is a book that could theoretically replace all these studio packets that we're all making.
Yeah, no,
You know,
it's what's the point of going through all that time plunking away into like insert whatever music program when you can just everything's all in the same place. That's I
right?
mean, and admittedly, like you look at it and it is overwhelming, but
Yeah.
as soon as I mean, I really do think I went back and looked at your intro for Chops One, like reading your explanation of it,
Yeah.
and the first time when I had read it, um, I was just like, what? And then the second time, like having a break and already investigating what was in it, it definitely made a little more sense. Understanding like this is like you just kind of need to be honest with yourself, which is in general how practice works. You
Oh
need
yeah.
to know like where your gaps are and what you need to focus on.
Right.
Yeah.